Hey peeps, welcome back to the channel. I'm very sad today because it's the end of October, one of my favorite months out of the year. It is Halloween, so happy Halloween to all you ghouls and fiends out there. This month went by really quick. I mean, quicker than like a witch on her broom. I don't know, like it just blinked and here's the end. But I did want to give you a rundown of all the movies, all the good things that I read. I didn't get to read as much as I wanted to because I got sick. I'm a little bit under the weather, if you can hear it like in my voice. And so that like threw off my schedule. But in those books that I did read, there are really some good gems in there that let me know if you've read them or if you're gonna add them to your to be read list because they're just phenomenal. So here we go. Books I read this month. And then don't forget that for in-depth reviews and ratings, go check out my Instagram. The link is always in the description down below. Okay. Hex Factor by Andie M. Long. It's a book in the series, the first book in the series of the Paranormals. I told you that I read her other series last year. I read the whole series. I think it's 5 or 6 books. And it was amazing. This one was equally entertaining. It's like X Factor / American Idol meets horror paranormal world, and it's very entertaining. I love her writing style. I like that her books are very like quick reads. You can generally, if you have the time, read them in a day or in 2 days, and that's like giving it like 4 hours in chunks. But yeah, I really enjoy her books and I can't wait to see where the rest of this series goes. Finlay Donovan is Killing It by Elle Cosimano. Such a good book. Really enjoyed the plot. I'm really looking forward to book 2 next year. Yeah, it's like mom / wife, ex-wife mistakenly turned into a hitman. It has all the components to be a great movie or a great series. I would really enjoy that. Sort of along the lines of that show Good Girls. Not as cheesy though. I think this book is definitely better. And yeah, I can't wait to see where she takes the series, if it's going to be a duology, if it's going to be a trilogy, or if it's going to keep going. I really enjoy the character that she has there, and I can't wait to see where it goes. Love and Other Nightmares by Jessica Gadziala. I told you that Jessica Gadziala writes books that are steamy, a lot of like love scenes, not vulgar. If you're bashful, I don't know if it's for you. Definitely not for the kiddos, definitely not for YA group. It's strictly made for adults. I was skeptical how she was gonna mix in zombies and just steamy scenes, but she pulls it off somehow. Very short book. I think it was about 90 something pages, maybe less. All her reads are pretty short. This one falls in that category as well. I hope to see if she makes another book in the horror genre because I really enjoyed it. For Better or Cursed by Kate Williams. It's the second book in the Babysitter's Coven series. I believe the series has 3 books. The story is starting to get darker by book 2. It's like a coven of witchy babysitters, and they're realizing their calling. They go away to a retreat in a hotel with other babysitters and to really hone their powers and get to know one another. It's getting crazy. So I can't wait to see what happens in the next book and see how she wraps this all up, or if there's going to be more books in this babysitter coven world. So I'm excited to check that out. This Spell Can't Last by Isabel Sterling. It's a prequel to These Witches Don't Burn. there's blood witches in this, and it reminded me of the blood bending in Avatar The Last Airbender, and that's creepy. They introduce it they touch on it very briefly, but I'm really excited to see where this goes for the next book. It's a prequel, so it's very short book, but it's just introducing like the base characters and what the story is about. So I'm excited to dive into those. The Fell of Dark by Caleb Roehrig. Vampire book. There's like an ancient vampire power coming back to Earth, and August Pfeiffer's in the middle of all of it. Caleb Roehrig paints really good picture of living in a vampire town where it's like normal, right? And the vampires are running around, and it's normal to live in the middle of all of that. And the cover is what drew me in, and it was just a great read. I enjoy when Caleb writes horror. He did it for the Archie book one of Archie like horror books, and yeah, he's amazing. Love at First Fright by Rori Kate Pierce. I told you in the other video how I met Rori, how I came about her debut book, and how I ended up on her street team. Well, I got a chance to receive the short story as an arc, and it melds romance and like horror, scary jump scare like perfectly. It's a short story, it's not long at all. So it's perfect if you just want to get in like a quick stare, and also a little bit of romance in there, like the beginning of a romance in there. So I really enjoyed it. And there you have it, peeps. Stay tuned for part 2 of my Goodbye October video. I'm gonna talk about all the flicks that I watched and give you a rundown of all the cool things that I caught up on in October. So stay tuned for that video coming up next.